a small village, below a huge mountain lived a young man named Aryan. For as long as he could remember, Aryan had dreamed of reaching the top of the mountain. It was so tall and majestic. But everyone in the village said it was impossible to climb. People said it was too dangerous, too cold, and that anyone who tried to climb would never make it to the top. Aryan's father, who had once tried to climb the mountain himself, often warned Aryan about the dangers. His father had come back from his own attempt with many injuries and painful memories. Despite his father's warnings and the doubts of everyone around him, Aryan could not shake his dream. He was determined to reach the summit, no matter what anyone said. For years, Aryan prepared for his climb. He exercised daily, running up hills, lifting weights, and learning everything he could about the mountain. He even studied the weather and how to survive in cold temperatures. People in the village laughed at him, calling him foolish for wanting to attempt such a crazy thing. But Aryan ignored them. He was set on his goal and knew he would need strength and courage to succeed. One early morning, Aryan packed his supplies and began his climb. The mountain was everything he had expected and more. Harsh winds whipped at him. Icy paths made every step difficult, and the cold was more intense than he could have ever imagined. Each step took effort, and there were times when he felt so tired he wanted to give up. But he kept going, encouraging himself. Just one step at a time. I can do this. Days passed, and the climb became even harder. He was exhausted and alone, fighting against nature's harsh elements. But whenever he thought of quitting, he reminded himself of his dream and the villagers who doubted him. These thoughts fueled his determination, and he kept pushing forward. Finally, after many days of struggle, Aryan reached the top. The view was beyond anything he could have imagined. He could see the whole world below him, and the sky seemed closer than ever. In that moment, he felt the pain, fear, and exhaustion fade away, replaced by a feeling of accomplishment and peace. He had achieved what others had called impossible. When Aryan returned to his village, people were amazed. The villagers who had doubted him now looked at him with respect. His journey up the mountain became famous in the village, and people often asked him to tell the story of his climb. They wanted to hear about his courage, his struggle, and the moment he reached the top. One evening, while telling his story by the fire, Aryan noticed a young boy named Karan looking at him with wide eyes. Aryan saw himself in Karan, the same wonder, the same desire for adventure. Karan asked Aryan, "Do you think I could climb the mountain one day?" Aryan smiled and said, "It's not about whether you can or cannot. If you believe in yourself and work hard, you will find yourself at the top one day. The mountain will test you, but it will also teach you." Inspired by Aryan's words, Karan and others in the village began to think about their own dreams. Some wanted to learn new skills, others wanted to start small businesses, and a few even wanted to try their own mountain climbs. Aryan's story gave them courage, and they began to believe that they could achieve their own goals. Over time, Aryan became more than just a young man who climbed the mountain. He became a symbol of hope and inspiration for everyone in the village. He had shown them that dreams, even the biggest and hardest ones, could come true with patience, resilience, and belief in oneself. And so, Aryan's story lived on. He had become a true inspiration, teaching others to face their challenges with courage, never giving up until they reached their own summits. In the end, Aryan's journey was not only about climbing a mountain. It was about helping others find the strength to climb their own.